Buddy, I know I'm a few minutes early here. Actually, I wanted to get started a little bit early because it's Valentine's Day, and I forgot about that. And I just got back from the orthopedic surgeon's office getting the diagnosis and prognosis on my shoulder, and it turns out they're going to have to cut it off. They're going to have to put metal in this shoulder now, which is great because let me tell you, if you've never had a shoulder replacement or a joint replacement, um, when I had this one done, my left back in 2017, it went from pretty much agonizing pain all the time to no pain overnight. So I'll be glad. We're probably looking about April, May timeframe, unfortunately, before they can get me in. But so the here's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about Canva and how to make some cool Facebook graphics. And I'm just going to give you the ins and outs of putting this together. Okay. I'm going to give you kind of the mechanics of doing it. The artistic side of it, I will be right up front with you. That is not necessarily me, right? I know how to do artistic things to a certain extent, but certainly my wife is much better than me at that. And it is certainly the technology side of the mechanics side that I'm much more comfortable with. Now, I will tell you, I don't use Canva that much anymore because I've just got all kinds of templates set up in Photoshop, and I used to teach Photoshop, so I like that a little bit better for what I want to do in that. But you can do almost everything that you ever want to do, and for the average person, Canva is really easy to use, and it's free, and it just makes sense, right? So if you are really good at Photoshop, then you can do it in Photoshop just as well. All right. So it is 1 minute before we're going to get started, but that's okay. This is the preliminaries. I'm going to share my screen here so you can kind of see what's going on. This is Canva, and if you can see this up here, it says www.canva.com. Okay, and I'm going to see if I can make this full screen, make it a little bit bigger for you. All right. And you can just go in and you go in there and it says log in with Facebook. You click on that, it'll sign you up, get a free account, piece of cake, right? It's real easy to get signed up for it. And you can, I would not recommend getting the paid version. I would just stick with the free version. That's fine. And you can see I've even done some of our graphics here. I started to do a digital board, all kinds of different things. These are, if you go down, if you look here, these are other designs, and I've done a lot of these over the years. A lot of designs in Canva. Okay, if you click on see all, oops, I didn't want to do that. Let me go back. If you click on see all right here, you can see that I've got tons and tons of graphics that I've done. So let's just get into it. I don't want to take a whole lot of time with this and take your day up, but I want to make this real straightforward. Okay. So if we go back here to home, what I normally do is I go here to the right, and they've changed this a little bit since the last time I've used it. So if I'm stumbling a little bit, bear with me, but all the concepts are still the same, and I'll obviously figure it out for you. But I go to custom dimensions, and under custom dimensions, I make this 1200 by 628. Now, someone shared this with me a long time ago. This seems to be the best size for your graphics to fit in Facebook and look good. Okay, so you just type in 1200 by 628 and you say create new design. Okay, real simple. Now you've got this design. Over here, you're going to see, here's all kinds of like pre-design. If I click on one of these, it's going to give me all kinds of pre-designed ones that I can click on and use if I like. Okay. For me, I do not, oops. I would get rid of all of this. Control A, boom, delete it. Okay, so I don't use these. I start from scratch on my own, and they're just pre-designs that I haven't found that I like. Okay, but you can look through these. All these templates. Just click the X up here. Maybe you want one of these here, that innovation in healthcare, right? Maybe that's what you're going to talk about. So if you find any of these that you like, all you do, Bob's working space, right? I can just click on this, go through these, and you just click once. And boom, there it is. Now I can just go to any one of these areas, click on it, double click on it, change the text. I can change this stuff. I can change whatever I want, okay? I'm just going to, again, do a Control A here and delete. Take me back here to the templates. Next section here is photos. All kinds of photos. Now, here's what I'll tell you. Some of these photos are free and some of them aren't. I think if they've got this little crown here, that means it's pro, and you're probably not going to be able to use that without paying for it. And it's usually like $1. Okay. But some of these that have the S on it, they're free. Okay. They remove watermarks. Okay, they've changed things around. Premium price, $1. Okay. So again, you can use these. If I roll over one, it doesn't have anything down at the corner here. See, like these here. It says free. Boom, that's free. And I can now take these and grab them, make them bigger, move them to the side, whatever I want. If I decide I don't want it, I can click on it, hit my delete key on my keyboard, and boom, it's gone. So you might find some in here that are free, or if you don't mind paying $1, you can either way. Okay, here's another one that's free. Maybe this would make a really good kind of background. So if I grab it and I drag it past the edges, I can use this as a background and then add text and everything else I want on it and have a cool background like that. Okay. Again, all I'm doing is clicking on it and then hitting my delete key. The next section here are what they call grids. And I like using these just because when you put a grid in here, now when you drag a picture in here, it automatically sizes to this area, or it automatically sizes to this area. So these grids are kind of handy. A lot of times I'll start off with this full screen, full palette grid. And then when I find a picture I want, I drag it on and it'll automatically size it so it fits there perfectly. And I'll show you that here in a second. But other than that, I don't use any of these grids. Text, again, if you're looking for, say you want to add a heading text and you like this, you just click, this is a heading, okay? And then I can click on that and I can go up here and you can see what these are going to look like. I can change any font I want. Okay, let's say I want that font, I want this font. I think there's, you look here, this is like a kind of a, oops, some of them, see, you have to upgrade. They didn't used to be like that. So this is kind of a bold heading. You can change the size of it here. Maybe you want to make it really big. I can change the color, like a blue, or maybe a greenish color. Italicize, whatever I want to do. I've got all of those options. Again, if I want to get rid of it, I click on it, hit the delete key, and it's gone. Okay. Videos, I never use these. Again, backgrounds, there's some backgrounds. If you like one of these backgrounds, you can just click on it. It'll fill the background for you. Here's the difference, by the way. If you drag it on, so let's say I want this background. If I drag it on, it puts it on there. In this case, it's full screen. But a lot of times, if you drag it on, it's going to make it a size that's not exactly the size of your palette. Okay. Next one here are uploads. Okay, this is what I do. I find pictures that I want. Okay, and I'm going to show you where I get that. So the three areas that I'm in most of the time are the elements up here, so I can look at the grids, the text, and my uploads. So now, hopefully you can see this. I'm going to go to Google here, and let's say I want a beach scene. So I'm going to go, maybe a guy climbing a mountain. Mountain climber. Okay. And I'm going to go into images, click on images here. And then I want it to be a relatively big size. So I'm going to click on tools. And then I'm going to go over here to size and I'm going to say large. Okay. And oh, here's a cool one. This guy's hanging, or maybe this one here, right? And if I roll over, it tells me it's 600 by 1050, whatever. Okay. So this is a great picture. Now I can do one of two things here. I can right click on this and say, let's say view image for, oops. I can right click on this and say copy image. Okay. And then I can go back into my Canva and I can do a paste. Okay. Copying and pasting into Canva. These actually are available using the right click menu, but you can use, okay. So in this case, I would use, I'm on a Mac, so I'd use Command V. Okay. But you see how it didn't make it the way I wanted it, right? I wanted to span the screen. Okay. So I might be able to go over here to elements, click on this, and then do a Command V. Nope, still doesn't want to do it for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to say save image. And all I'm going to do is save it to my desktop. I'm going to save it to my desktop as soon as it comes up. My computer's a little slow today. I apologize for that. And you can see, you could use any one of these that you want, okay? And I'm just going to go over here to desktop. Come on, you can do it. Desktop and... All right, desktop. And save. Then I'm going to get out of here and I'm going to go over here to uploads. Go back up to the top. I'm going to say upload an image or a video. It's going to go through this again. A little bit faster. And I'm going to change this to date added. And there's my picture. And I'm going to say open. And you'll see it is copied it over. Now I can just click on it again. All it does is put it there. But if I drag it over to this palette, look at that. Boom. Okay. Now, this is the bad size. I should have gotten a bigger one because you can see it looks granular and you know it's all pixelated. But you see what I'm talking about, right? So let's say I really wanted to put the car here. Boom. There's the Lincoln Navigator. I don't know. I've got a ton of them in here. Oh, here's a cool one. Okay. And now I want to put my text. And I may want to put, you know, here's one of myself. Oops. On this one, I'm not, see what happens? If I drag it over, it fills the whole thing. I don't want to do that. So, but if I click on it, oh, isn't that cool? So I can take this, oops, not like that. Let's do that again. And I'm going to hold my shift key down using my arrow keys. And I'm going to move it across the screen. Because I think if you drag it like this, it gets a little dicey and it may try to expand on all over. Okay. So now I've got all of that done. And now I can go back here. Very simple. I can say, let's put some text in there. I can use any of this stuff. But I'm just going to pick this text heading and I'm going to say, if you want to have what others have. You have to do what others won't. Okay. So then I'm going to, if I want to, I can select this text, but if I want to change all the text color and all of the text is the same, I'm just going to go up here to the border till my cursor changes. I'm going to click on that. Okay. And then I'm going to go up here to color and I'm going to say, I want this to be white. I want it to be bold. I'm going to move it up here to the center. And there you have it. And I can make that. Let's say I really want this to be really big. Okay, and I want the spacing, the line height, I want it to be a little bit closer. All on one line. And all I'm doing is just adjusting. Put this up so it's, the background's mostly dark. And there you have it. And if you wanted to, you could come over here and you could upload. Let's say I had, I think I've got it here somewhere. No. Here we go. My website, right? So I can take this if I've got my website. Oops. And let's try that again. So I'm going to make this small, and I'm going to use my, oh, okay, there you go. They changed it. Okay, so all I did was I grabbed this little, when you select it, you've got these two buttons here. So I grabbed the one that's letting me drag it around the way I want. See, learn something new every day. And there you go. You can add anything you want here. That's what makes it so cool. You can add and put text in there. You can go back to this text and, let's say I want something that's maybe a little bit fancier. You can go up here and search this. I like Cardo. Let's see if they even have it. Doesn't? Yeah, there we go. So I can change this to Cardo. Boom. If you want to have what others have. So now I'm thinking that's maybe a little bit too big. So let's make it 56. Let's drag this a little bit further. See if I can get it to go on the same line. Maybe just a little smaller. Next level down. There we go. Okay. You have pretty much total control of what you want it to look like, right? If you want to have what others have, you have to do what others want. So now from here, I go up to download, right? And it's telling me I want to download it as a PNG. So then I just click on download. Now, if I had anything in here that they wanted to charge me for, it would come up and say, but and here I can upgrade and everything else. But all I'm going to do is I'm going to say, save this again to my desktop, and I'm going to save. In this particular case, I'm going to save it to my graphics folder, and I'm going to call this if you want what others have. Okay. And then you can just get rid of this. And now, if I go back to, I'm going to just exit out of this. If I go back to my original Canva window and I just refresh this, you're going to see that that design is going to be sitting right here. So I can go back at any time and modify it, click on it. Now I'm back in the editor. I can modify it, click on it, use that same background picture. Maybe I want to make a new one. I just want to leave my picture and my website here, but I want to change out the text and the graphic. I've got myself a built-in template, and I can just do that every time I want to create a new one. Okay. Now, if I go over here, and let's say I'm going to just go into Facebook. I can take this from Facebook, from my hard drive. Okay, so let's say I want to go right to my profile. And I'm going to click on photo or video. And I apologize that my machine is so slow. And I'm going to go to graphics. And here it is. And I'm going to go ahead and post this, but I'll delete it after I'm done. But look at how clean it is. Everything is in the picture. It looks exactly, because of that sizing, it's nice and clean and in there exactly how I had it on mine. Okay. Now I'm going to get rid of this because I don't really necessarily want this one out there today. But that's all there is to it. I'm going to come back here so you can see my face. Oops. All right. So I hope that makes sense. That's as simple as this, and then you can go back in and log into Canva anytime you want. Yeah, exactly, Julie. You can upload your brand logo, save your brand colors, your font styles. It's a very, very, very powerful program for free. Okay. Hey, Doris, good to see you here. Sabrina, see who else is here real quick. Jim, good to see you. Michelle, Kovaleski, how are you doing? Stacy, Christopher, good to see you. Man, last night was amazing. Thank you again. All right. So that's as easy as it is. Now I use it I used to use it. I use Photoshop now, so I don't want to be, how they say it, transparent and all that stuff. But the bottom line is that you could use Canva for your rank advancement templates. You could use them for your Facebook posts. You can use it for Instagram. They have all kinds of different templates that you can use. I just use, and for my Facebook stuff, 1200 by 628, and that's just what I do, and that works for me. Okay, so I hope this, and it looks like I'm going crazy here a little bit. One of the things, let's see, why is that so small? Okay, so you can see here, creative design, logo. It's got all kinds of different ones, brochures, menus, letterheads, and if you keep scrolling, it's going to go give you social media stuff for Instagram, YouTube, headers, all kinds. So if I click on see all here, you can go down here to social media. Look at, here's all kinds of Instagram posts, Facebook video, Facebook post, Facebook cover, all kinds of stuff, right? Very, very powerful program, and especially, like I said, for free. So I encourage you all to kind of go through this again and look at it. But the easiest way to learn this is to go out to Canva and just start playing around. Get into the editor, start dragging it around, making things and seeing what's going on. Now, remember, it's free to use, and as long as you're like bringing in your own graphics or using one of the free backgrounds and free text and all that stuff, it's free. But typically, if you add anything on, each thing that you add on is $1, right? Or you can buy a subscription, and I think that opens up a lot of the graphics that were like $1. If you think you're going to use a lot of those, then it's a much better value if you buy the paid upgrade to Pro, I think, because then you get a bunch of those for free. So that would normally cost you $1. So Canva's a great. I get people asking me all the time. Well, how can I create graphics like that? If you're artistic, man, Canva's a great way for you to do it. You don't have to worry about learning Photoshop. And I used to teach Photoshop. I'm not going to go out there and start doing that again. But it's like $9.95 a month to get the Photoshop cloud version. And if you want to get into Photoshop, there's all kinds of tutorials on YouTube that you can use for all of that. I just like it because I'm used to using it, and it's got a lot of really complex things that I can do that I can't necessarily do on Canva. But for your basic, really good professional graphics, Canva does great. I know so many people that use it. Stacy, absolutely. You can learn how to do it. You can do a logo in there. Again, you want to change your dimensions of your canvas. I would use a custom dimension, or if I don't even know if they've got any templates in here for logos and that, but I would figure out what you want, what dimension in pixels, that you want for your logo size. Create that canvas, that blank canvas, just like I did with the custom dimensions of the Facebook post, and then just start playing around and doing it. Now, again, I don't know how well Canva will do it. Personally, for me, if I was going to do a logo right now, I'd probably go out to Fiverr and have somebody on Fiverr create a logo and make sure they gave me the Photoshop file so that I can tweak it from there and make it what I want. Okay. But that's just me for a logo. All right. So anybody got any quick questions? I don't want to keep you. We've been on here for 26 minutes now. So any other questions? Anybody have any questions that I can answer real quick? Because if not, I'm going to let you go. I hope this has helped you. You can watch the replays, and we'll go from there. All right. God bless you all. Have an amazing, amazing Valentine's Day. I will probably be on live again later on today with my normal live, and I hope to see you then.